Hey guys, Jason here with BounceWave Blowers. Wanted to run over some of these new blowers with you guys and give you an idea of what they're about. Again, we have them in 1 horsepower, 1.5, 2.0, and 3.0. The 1 horsepower is slightly different. It's a smaller unit. Doesn't have the dual fan technology to make it as quiet, but it's a super powerful blower. If you look over at these blowers again, some of the differences and changes we made compared to the standard is upgrading a lot of components. First, starting with the cord, you're going to get a 30-foot cord, which is going to help with the blower. Sometimes maybe you don't need a cord, an extension cord if you have a 30-footer. It's right there where it'll fit. Or you could just tag a 50 to it, which is a lot easier on the blower than running 100 all the time, which you're only supposed to tie 25-foot cords into these to give you an idea from the manufacturer. But I know we got to do more than that sometimes at the deliveries. So you're not only going to get that, you can see here we've got high-end switches in them. Again, dual fan technology, which is going to make them quieter than most, probably the quietest, I think the quietest blower in the industry, and I'll show you that in a minute. Let's talk about stackability. As you can see, the foot pads rest very securely here into the indentions on top of every other blower. So it's a very secure, even 3 tall, it's a very secure, I mean, you can kind of bump it a little bit on even ground and it still holds itself pretty well. You can probably go 4 high pretty safe, you got pretty even ground. And they fit really nice when they stack. You'll see here you got a clip that you can use as well at the end of the cord. That way it ain't dragging on the ground. You guys know how that works. Dolly runs over it with an inflatable on it, crushes your end, and there you sit at a delivery. Again, highly stackable. Cord's going to wrap around the top here rather than the neck. Again, it's a 30-foot cord. So rather than bundling it up here, just fits nicely and still stacks without any issues there, as you can see. 2 ways to grab it. I got a messed up right hand, but I'll do it left-handed. You can come from the back of the unit if it's something quick and carry it and move it, no problem. Or from the top. A little taller than your average blowers, but carries like a briefcase. You don't have it banging against your legs and stuff. As you can see, it carries just like a briefcase. So a little slimmer than some of the others. Guys, these are built well. I didn't cut any expense in doing it. As you can see with the cords, inside the actual capacitor is encased, so it doesn't dangle in there and get the wiring loose and things like that. It's actually encased inside and secured, so that way, you know, it stays solid in there and doesn't bop around and travel. A little bit higher end wiring used on the inside. Just a quality made blower all the way around. As you can see, the mold, everything is quality, and we will have spare parts for them. We will be warranting these for a year, and what I know is a defective blower, not, you know, adding cords that you shouldn't have that are way too long, separating 2 50-foot cords, putting them together. You're better off with 100-foot cord. The more cord you have, guys, the hotter the blower gets. Especially you guys running 3 and 4 days all the way through the weekend. Some of you 3 and 4 days starting Friday and through Monday, and some of these customers not turning them off. You got to use good common sense when you're out doing that. The first thing that generally is going to go is your capacitor if the voltage is too much or it's getting too hot. Another thing people don't realize as well, if you have to use the longer cord, try not to ever tie a bunch of cords together. But secondly, even if you took 100 to a job that only takes 25, again, they only suggest a 25-foot cord added to this with any blower. But if you have to do that, unwind the cord. Don't leave the cord wrapped up. Say it's a 100-foot cord, you got 75 of it wrapped up, you're only using 25 foot of it. Unwrap the whole cord. When it coils up, it makes the cord hotter, which then in turn is going to make your blower hotter. So just some tips there to help you keep your blower in the best shape as possible. But to give you an idea, I'll walk behind our pink dyno over here and show you how loud these blowers actually are. I'll shut these off behind me. They're all ran on our blowers, but we'll shut them off so you can hear how one blower actually sounds. So this blower currently is behind the unit, just behind me, and as you can see, I can talk with really no issue. You can't hardly hear that blower. Indoor places, this is going to be absolutely amazing. And a lot of the combos and things go into smaller backyards where parents have to sit on the back porch or over by the unit, somewhere by the unit. It gives them a chance to talk a little bit easier without having to scream or being, you know, just that noise just running in their head all day. And I'll show you from the backside how loud it actually is. I'm not sure how the camera, this is going to pick it up exactly. At the show, people were highly impressed. I just had a client leave that when he walked up to it, he said, wow, that's insane. But as we come into this blower, you got to think that's the 1.5 of how loud blowers normally are. And if I get up on this blower, I can have this conversation with you without a lot of headache. Now You may not understand how quiet this really is unless I put another standard blower beside it, and then you'll see in just very quickly that that's extremely, extremely quiet. It's based on the ground too and cold. It's really, really good. It's just super solid. It's just a homemade blower. Again, that's the inside of where you stack. The feet on the bottom go right inside. We are developing a deflator. A lot of people aren't a big fan of that. We might get into that a little bit. But these are just excellent blowers. We put a lot of time into them. Again, try not to do anything cheap. Price-wise, as of right now, and I'm going to try and do a little better. These are to order. We're looking at the March time frame for these. And as you can see, I'm talking to you really without much issue, which is really nice. We're looking at the March time frame. As right now, 1.0 is 179, 1.5, 199, 2.0, 219, and we do have a 3.0. That is doing really well as far as tripping breakers. The deal with the 3.0 is that it starts with 17 amps surge, but within 3 seconds is back down to 14 amps. In my market, in our rental, it's been successful so far not tripping a breaker. Why would you need a 3.0? Some of you guys with the big, now 3.0 doesn't take the place of two 1.5s, understand that. When you have air coming in 2 sections of 1.5 to inflate a mass, it's going to be more dense air inside than one blower coming in from one side. That's why in your home, there's not just one duct in your AC, there's many, because that's going to disperse air much better than one duct trying to get to all the rooms. Same idea with blowers. But in some cases, a 2.0, if you just had another horsepower or half horsepower or something like that, that unit would hold, or that slide would still go up without having to run 2. That's when you use the 3. Can I sit here and say you will never trip a breaker? I'm not going to do that, because I haven't tested every market by any stretch. Do I feel really good about it? Do I think it's pulling less power? I've tripped with other blower manufacturers breakers pretty steadily with sometimes 2.0s, and this one's not tripping. So we do have that 3 at 279. So that's something to look at too. Guys, we're going to black these blowers up just like we do BounceWave products. We will have spare parts in stock. And again, I mentioned, I generally know when a blower's damaged, if you keep running through capacitors, your drivers or whoever it is, they're tying cords together, you're using way too long cords, your cord ends are burnt, you're still plugging them in, you're adding fuel to the fire. But if you're doing things right and the blower stops on you by any stretch, that's usually a switch or capacitor. It's one of the two things. Motors rarely go bad, can happen, but it's very rare. We'll have them on hand, send them out to you. If the blower is making some crazy noise and the case isn't totally busted from falling out of a trailer or something crazy, or the blower's just not operating, or it makes a big noise at startup, or giving you real issues, we're not going to argue with that. We're going to send you a new blower. And just like we do our products, we're going to back it up the right way. Again, always you guys being fair to us, we're always going to be fair to you. I'll never change that. And I know when you buy from me, you're expecting X and you're going to get X. But blowers are a little trickier. People just do some dumb things with blowers. I've seen it. For 20 years, I've been to festivals and watched 4 100-foot cords tied into a blower. I think it's the craziest thing ever, but they do it. They do it, and then they're going to call me and go, well, my capacitor burned out. And you feel like going, really? Really? Anyway, so great blowers, guys. Something to be excited about. I certainly am. They're coming in. Again, not only good-looking blowers. That's the BounceWave Blue over there. Again, the longer cords wrapped around. As you can see, if you got to put that and store them in your shop or your storage unit, they've got a thinner run here a little bit, as you can see. So, I mean, you could, without taking up many space, I've never measured the base of this, but I could have 2 of these side by side. Well, I'll give you an idea. In my storage unit, without taking up much space at all. So if you're looking to save space, have quality, and you can look at the switch and listen to them. I mean, everything's just done at a little high. Again, I didn't cheat on anything on it. I tried to put the best product in these blowers that I could to make it as good and as efficient as we could. So, you know, as you can see here, you got a good view of the blower. Guys, I would, at IAPA, I would have sold 1 million had I had them now, but they're due in beginning of March. We do have a lot of them sold. So if you're interested at all, you could pre-order them. It's $50 to hold the blower for you. So you'll know you'll get the one that you want. And you guys wanting to try the 3, it might be a great opportunity for you. So we only have so many of those coming. So 888-901-WAVE. Again, we're super excited about them and can't wait to just get them out in the field and see how great they'll do for everybody and how quiet. Again, that blower's over there running, guys, and I'll let you listen. It's, you know, and normally if you're this close to a unit with a blower running, you certainly even hear it out here without any issue. But as you can see, I can talk to you with no problem at all. You can hear me, and that blower really doesn't mean much to us at all. So 888-901-WAVE, let us change the noise in your inventory, bring the noise level down, and get quality blowers in your hands.